Second half just about ready to go, and Marshall will kick it off. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. They'll keep it on the ground to start the second half. Oh, better look out! Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. And the Bears can really attack on this second and short. The offense changing the play. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Crosses the 45. It's a running room. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line. The Bears come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. And some room to work. There he goes. And he will finally go out of bounds after another big gain, and they are absolutely gashing them with this running game. They've really got this offense humming. Just the fourth play of the drive, and it's first and goal. Dances away to buy time. Touchdown, Missouri State. Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
He'll bring it out. It's Robinson. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. 90 yards in front of them as they start the drive at their own 10. Scanning the field, it's Turner. Buying some time. At the 20, he's got space. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit. Marshall quick to the line.
I mean, these quarterbacks nowadays can run so fast. Think about who you've got chasing them. Defensive linemen, those big old defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. They can't catch them because they're faster than them nowadays. So much speed, so much electricity now with these guys.
Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
I love defenses that can tackle the catch. Right away, you're not giving up any yak. As soon as that player has the ball, he goes down now.
Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And this quarterback, man, you've seen him have some success, so you know he'll take off and run. The defense was ready, man. Nice job. This second half, this is a critical part of it. Don't let him beat you with his feet.
Zings it complete to the right. They stop him right at the 40-yard line. It's fourth down. Will they bring out the punt team? Marshall will be forced to punt. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. He'll try to field the punt and bring it back. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stops, and that's where the offense will set up shop. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Rides the back and leaves it. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front seven tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him. Getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. And the Bears will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Perhaps feeling that coverage coming, signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 25. The Marshall offense makes its way back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Good pick up, a little bit short of Hurd to the line, facing a 2nd and short. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. He's loose. It's a seam wide open. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44. Marshall quick to the line.
The defense has got to be more physical up front. Don't let them have those running lanes, those holes to break off a nice run, get a first down. And here's the thing, you better reload quick because they're right back on the line to call another play.
Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Caught over the middle. It's Payne. Oh, better check some ankles. He makes a move and gets down to the 24. Marshall might go for a big play here on 2nd and short. Off play action. Buys a little time with his feet.
I love the play call there, too, because 2nd and short, defense is thinking you might run it. So you try to catch him off guard with the pass. Nothing there. Even if you throw an incompletion, you're going to have a chance to run it the very next play, but doesn't matter. This guy's just so athletic himself. He's able to go get the first. Let's get a fresh set of downs.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. To the air, it's Turner. He's got it, and he will score! Touchdown, Marshall!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, Dave. And listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Handoff from the shotgun. Finding open areas. He gets across the 25, steered out of bounds at the 26. The Bears with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Takes the handoff. It's Lawrence. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. And the Bears come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. They'll stick to the ground, looking for the marker. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Punt is on its way. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. Marshall takes over the ball, the thundering Hurd offense coming out. They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Pressure's there, and he gets rid of it.
They've already got a bunch of sacks on them today and another quarterback pressure. This offense has to try to find a way to get the ball out a little bit quicker, to protect the quarterback a little bit more. Whether it's screens, whether it's draws, whether it's rolling your quarterback, something has to change for this offense to protect the quarterback a little bit better.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. Looking for a man. It's Turner. Unloads to the wideout. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
And that's just what this defense needed. They needed to get a stop here in the 3rd quarter. They've given up a lot of plays, a lot of points, a lot of yards. Needed to get a stop and try to get this ball back to their offense.
He makes a fair catch, couple of steps inside his own 25 at the 23-yard line. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Crosses the 35. He goes out of bounds, and that'll take us to the start of the 4th quarter. We've come to the end of the period. It's Missouri State holding the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. well give it to him again. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll try the left side. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
I just love when running backs make those decisions, and when they get close to the sideline, some will take that advantage and step out of bounds not to get hit, but I love when they do like this and stick your foot in the ground.
Oh, a lot of space. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
And I think this will go a long way in determining the outcome of this football game. They're able to run the football with the lead late in this game. That's a good sign for this offense.
The Bears have their offense in high gear. Extending the play. Let's it fly. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
And those sting for offenses, man. You've got an opportunity to get in the end zone, to get the touchdown. It's not easy. It's hard to get guys open. He comes open, and the quarterback, man, I bet he wishes he had that one.
Going to try to pop one on the screen. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football there.
They're dealing with a second and long. Wants to throw it. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. The returner will field it and bring it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Looking downfield, it's Turner. Fires to the tight end. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. And you're going to win this game.
He gets it past the chains, and it'll be a first down for Marshall.
Yeah, in this offense, listen, we're in warp speed, right? We got to score a bunch of points here. We're down. We're trailing. We got to go fast, but we also got to get first down. And that's a nice job sneaking in the run, getting the first down, and now we crank the tempo back up.
Quickly to the tight end. Out across the 30 to the 39 after getting 10 on that one.
And these are these moments, man, when you're trailing by a couple possessions, you've got to put it together. Your quarterback has to come through. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's going to be passes. He's got to be smart. He's got to be quick with his decision-making, and they kind of got to be up near the line of scrimmage and be in a little bit of a hurry.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field. Rally to
Wide open spaces. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. Marshall quick to the line. Gives it on the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Off the bootleg, wants to throw it. Can't find the man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
Man, I love being an edge edge player late in the ball game. You got the lead. You know it's a pass. They got to throw the football to get back in it. Flying off the edge. They can't block him. They can't stop him, and he gets the sack.
Turning it on. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line. The Thundering Herd was stuck with some tough field position, but now a chance to get a drive going. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Hauls it in. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. To the air, it's Turner. Rushes on him. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Grabbed in the middle, it's Turner. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it first and goal. Out of the gun, looking to throw. Unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Quick strike through the air for the score. Old Uncle Mo has changed sidelines.
Look out, brother. Here's what happens, right? Something happens, get you close in the ball game. The defense needs to come out here, get a stop, get that ball back to the offense. Oh, Uncle Mo on your side.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Tremendous awareness along the sideline and the ability to get the foot down for the big pickup. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. They couldn't draw up a better way to start a drive, and now they've got it first and 10 from the 41. The give and tick, 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 tick. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. And the Bears in a good spot here with second and short. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line? Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Third and inches coming, maybe the biggest play of the game. Can't get him to the ground. They just needed inches. Instead, they lost 3 feet. What a play by the defense. Now, this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on 4th down. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
Yeah, and see, I have no problem being aggressive near midfield. I got no problem whatsoever. You get stuff, but I think you have to show your team, like, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to continue to try to make it, even in the second half when things are getting tight.
And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
You can just see the excitement this defense has every play. They're almost wishing this quarterback drops back to throw because they know they're going to get home to him. That's the 6th time they've registered a sack.
That last sack got them behind the sticks. It's second and long here. Looking to throw, it's Turner. Fires to the big fella. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
In this offense, they got another positive game, but I think they're going to have to start pushing the ball down the field a little bit. Got to make some plays. That clock is not your...
And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the 4th. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Finds him out of the backfield. They'll stop him short. Just what they needed as they get the ball back for their offense. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking for a crease. It's Lawrence. Finds a little space. He's loose down the left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Missouri State. Once he got some room, it was over.
And And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Coastal Carolina is down, but they are not out of it. Not there on the surf turf in Conway, one of the more enjoyable places to watch a game in all of college football.
Caught in the backfield, it's Allen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for second down. Wants to go up top. A deep throw as the clock winds down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Takes it the other way. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. When we get to the offseason and they start having coaching clinics, they're going to roll this game tape back to show both offenses.
Dial it up and let it run. I mean, that's essentially what we saw in this game. It didn't matter what either offensive coordinator was calling. Everything seemed to work through throwing the football in the intermediate passing game, the RPOs, the run game. David, this was just clinical offensive football.
And offenses have evolved so much. They can do so many different things, and they know how to use their playmakers, get speed and space, make those big plays. So that's why offenses are ahead of defenses in this game. It was no different.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the USA, the Missouri State Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Missouri State's offense will be first on the attack. Hopefully we'll see a performance today like the one that this guy had last week, where basically he just ran wild through the defense.
He made that defense look silly. Out in the open field, he was making people miss, breaking tackles, scoring touchdown after touchdown. And this offense has vowed to find new ways to get him the football. So we're going to see something else that we haven't seen before because of this guy's unique talent in this one, Dave.
Yeah, and the defense, all eyes on him. That will be the main focus. More guys in the box. I wonder if it opens up the play-action game and the perimeter throws and maybe some big plays through the air, because they know he is the man, he is the guy, he is priority number 1.
Clark to fire. And the third down pass is knocked away by the D. The Bears will call on their punt team. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Take the return out of the equation in this rainy weather. Fair catch is signaled for and made. So SMU's offense will take the field for the first time. And it was a collection of highlight reel plays time after time last week. He'd love to do that again, David.
Oh, there's no doubt. He showed you he's capable. He showed you the big play ability, and he can make those big plays for this offense. And I think the offense is going to continue to look for him. Like, he is that guy outside that they can trust. Interesting to see, Jesse, the wrinkles off of the way they used him, and if he's going to continue to be the focal point of this offense.
I think he should continue to be the focal point, but I do think they have to move him around. You got to show some different looks, some different formations, get him in motion, stack releases, find him some access, because there's no doubt this guy can run routes, he can catch the football, and he's dangerous after he has the football. So let's see some added wrinkles in what this offense and how they take the next step based on what he did last time.
The RPO fire complete to the left, and they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain. The Mustangs racing to the line in the hurry-up. On the option, Bill toss it. And that one will go and reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it in the middle, it's Knight. He gets the job done on 3rd down. They move the chains. It's at the 37.
For you coming into this game, if they throw completions and get first downs, that's when they like to change up the tempo and go fast. You're seeing it here.
Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17. And the Mustangs have it with a 1st and 10. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Got enough space, and he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Mustangs. This guy is so slippery, so elusive. He just vaporizes right in front of the defense.
It's crazy. You can play touch football in an elevator and lose to this guy. He's that kind of quick.
The returner's going to try to see what he can get. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Clark wants to throw. Quarterback floating away from pressure. Got room to work. He navigates some traffic, steps out of bounds at the 27 as this offense tries to get something going. Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got it. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the 1st down. And the Bears can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the 1st down.
more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Here's a hit.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Got it in the middle, it's Robinson. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. The Bears really need to keep this drive alive on third down. To the ground to try to pick up the first. Oh, he's got some space. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks into first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Tight end finds a soft spot. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. And the Bears, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Now he's going to break the pocket. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Clark to fire. Makes the grab. Stopped right at the 2-yard line after the catch, and it'll be first down, goal to go. The Bears line it up with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Bears!
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Grabbed behind the line. It's Maryland. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over him.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down? Last season, Kevin Jennings took over as the SMU quarterback, and they went 11-1 before stumbling in the ACC championship game. Ernie on the Jets. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, SMU.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Off play action on first down. With the catch, it's Robinson. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. And the Bears can really attack on this second and short. On the ground, it's Lawrence. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, give him 1. They'll try to move the chains on third and short from the 25. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down. The Bears come to the line with a new set of downs. Now the play fake. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. What can they pull out of the playbook here on second and long from the 17? Gets it out quickly. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Both teams wanted to establish the run, and they have done exactly that in the first quarter. see what they have on third down. Clark wants to throw. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. And the Bears decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He'll call for the fair catch here. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it 3. There he goes! Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. The Mustangs are in the hurry-up. Fresh off its best season since the Pony Express era, Rhett Lashlee really had SMU humming, but they lost the ACC championship game, got beat in the playoff, and now to see how they'll respond.
Finish. That's been the thing that they've talked about all off season. They're going to try to carry into this year. Obviously, you take one game at a time. You've got to finish games. You've got to finish seasons. If they do that, David, they think they can have a very special season.
No doubt, and I think finding their guy last year in Kevin Jennings, he didn't start the season, game 3 he entered, so now knowing he's your dude, all that promise, all that ability with Rhett Lashlee in this offense, they've got to continue to score a bunch of points and perform at a high level.
From the gun, give on the inside. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown Mustangs! And they take it in for 6 more points.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. LSU is down, but they are not out of it, not in Tiger Stadium, a place Bear Bryant once said was like playing inside a drum. Maybe the best home field advantage in football. They're trailing by 10 to Florida. Implications galore inside the SEC, and we'll circle back if anything big should happen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Fires to the wideout. A strike downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. The play action fake. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Never had a chance to get rolling after the pick, but he gives them the ball in prime field position at the 40. Grabbed behind the line. It's Maryland. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
And that's a really good decision by the quarterback. Don't take the sack, throw the ball away. Now, listen, we can debate whether that was intentional grounding or not because he's still in the pocket. I'm not sure that that's not classified as grounding, but they didn't call it. So
lost one deep down the right side. He caught it. He thought he might turn that into a score, but the defense able to wrestle him down short. They'll stop him at the 3. Marches ahead. Touchdown, SMU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead.
yeah, coming into the game, you look at the stats and you say top 10 offense in scoring. So so they better be able to create what? Explosive plays. Another explosive plays. They've been doing it all year long. Those plays are backbreakers. Defenses just can't contain this offense.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here comes the Bear offense. There's still plenty of time, and you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Clark to fire. Oh, they're after him. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Second down coming up. Motion from the wideout. Wants to fire on second down. Looking for his man. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. The Bears are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone at everybody right now on the same page.
He's loose down the middle. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Out of the chute. Quick toss to the right. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Clark wants to throw. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended...
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. And the Bears will bring the punt team onto the field. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. A fair catch is called for and made just across the 50-yard line. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Knight. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Shakes off the defender. And he delivers the angry stiff arm, but is greeted by an angrier defense.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
Caught near the sticks. It's Knight. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
Wide receiver comes in motion. To the air on 1st down. Catch in the middle, it's Harden. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
And the Mustangs have taken it inside the 20. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. And now on 2nd down for this offense. Looking for room, it's Harden. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stopped.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
Trying to find the end zone. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
Let's go. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Looking for a man. It's Jennings. Quickly to the flat in the wide receiver screen. And they get him, and they'll lose yardage on that completion. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. 3rd and goal is where offensive coordinators earn their keep. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU! Well, some might think this head coach has a tough locker room speech after this one. I would suggest that he starts with, "That's just bad."
Bad. Or, as Reese Davis would say, ungood. Just very ungood performance. Flush this one down the toilet. Move on. It's not your best day. You lost in ugly fashion, to be honest, but better days ahead.
Springfield, Missouri, Plaster Stadium, home to the Missouri State Bears. As we'll see a team looking for its first win, the Groupers. Taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Missouri State Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Bears offense will have the football first. We'll keep a close eye on the play calling and just how diligent they are in getting the tight end involved, Jesse. It just didn't work last week.
Yeah, there's no question that this coaching staff, they know the offense basically goes as their big tight end goes. And that's why they lost their last game out. They didn't get him the ball. And that was a huge problem. So, David, big priority. Number one for this offense in this one, get him as many touches, as many ways as you can.
Yeah, feed the big fella, the big target, the chain mover, the red zone area, but just you don't have to be as accurate. I think that's the thing that's nice. When you're throwing to a big tight end over the middle of the field, like he'll catch it and still get hit. It's not that big of a deal, so we got to use the big fella.
Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36. The Bears with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Trying play action. Under fire. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Throws to the wideout. And this is going to be incomplete on third down. And the Bears will punt this one away. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. The Groupers offense will go to work for the first time. And David, their quarterback hasn't always blown you away statistically, but he is a guy that the coaches trust.
Yeah, and he'll show you some flashes of why you should trust him, Reese. But here's the thing. This is not a guy that we're saying, go win me the football game. That's not where he's at right now in his career. Jesse, he's a guy that needs the others. They got to help him out. They got to play on schedule, not make those mistakes, and guys really play well around him.
Yeah, David, the one thing quarterbacks don't want to be referred to as is a game manager, but that's really more what this guy is. You're right. They have to be able to run the football. They can't turn it over. They got to play great defense. If they do that in this game, he's good enough to get this win.
Gonna sling it on second down. Makes the catch. It's Sheffield. He snagged him, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. The Groupers come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Here comes the heat. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. And here comes the punt team. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. And nobody able to field that punt as it rolls out of bounds. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. They'll try the run. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. He's all the way across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 41 in the running game, getting it done. Quick pass on the fly motion. They mark him out of bounds at the 42, and they are on the move. It's first and 10 for this offense from the 42. Clark to fire. Makes the grab. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. The Bears with a second and short to keep this drive moving. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. They're looking at a third down and short from the 33. They'll try to run for it. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. The offense stays on the field. They just have inches to go on fourth down. Goes to the option. Oh, and he can't hold the pitch, and the ball's loose. Defense has it. They're on the move.
And I am sure this coaching staff on offense thought if we get a fourth down, we can use our speed on an option play, take the pitch, and pick up the first, but they underestimated the speed this defense has and their tenacity. Great job rallying to the pitch guy, creating a huge turnover on downs. Big play for the defense.
They'll leave it with him. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on third and long from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism. athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that side.
They punt it away on 4th down. He'll take it on the return. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. Clark wants to throw. Fires to the right. The receiver was doubled, and they picked it off. Looking for more room. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business. Great place to start for this offense. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. The run to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. He's brought down right at the 30-yard line, well within field goal range, but let's see what they do on this 4th down. They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. He's got it, showing off that big leg from 47 yards out. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the 2nd. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Missouri State offense. They're looking for any type of offense to try to get this thing going down 3-0. As if they didn't get it off in time, it'll be a delay of game. The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough. Clark to fire. He's going to throw deep right side. Pulls it in down the sideline. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Safe completion on the screen. Looking for room at the 30. He gets it past the 1st down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. And the Bears come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Throws for the tight end. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. And they'll get him down after a solid return. Give to the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Man, oh man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have it.
Works ahead for a couple, they'll stop him at the 27. Ball's at the 27, this offense facing a 3rd and long. He'll do it himself. Lots of running room. At the 30. the Groupers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Now it's 2nd and goal. Quarterback on the keeper. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Out of the gun, the running back has it. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. No good. It's still a 3-point game after the miss. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Pocket breaking down. Hit as he throws. And it's incomplete as he tried to lob it in with perfect touch. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Clark wants to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Robinson.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
The Bears are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Yeah, and this has been a struggle for this offense, protecting their quarterback. It's priorities, mission number 1, right? Every single game you go into. Last week, I think a lot of the reason they lost was because they gave up so many sacks and hits on their quarterback.
So, guys, we'll get another look at this offense. Leaves it with the back. Shows him the stiff arm.
Defensively, with all the space now in spread football, there's so many opportunities where it's one-on-one tackling, and it's really hard to do. It's hard to get guys to the ground that are so talented. That's why defenses have to swarm to the football, get multiple guys there. That's your best chance to not have broken tackles.
And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. The Groupers come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Give to the big fullback. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. They bring the punter onto the field now. And the punt hits ground at the 2 and goes into the end zone. He just missed, hitting them right in the shadow of the goalpost. It'll come out to the 20. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Blasted as he lets it go.
I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
Tosses it incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And the Bears will try to pin them back with the punt. Makes the signal, secures the fair catch, and they'll put it in play at the 37. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Here comes the option. Now the pitch. And they just didn't get anybody on that defense out of position, and they will lose yardage on that one.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. And if that's a play on the option, the quarterback would like to have back.
Leaves it with the back. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. And the Groupers will punt it away on 4th down. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Catches it at the 15. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. Off the play fake on throw. The sure hands, it's Robinson. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. Got a man, it's Johnson. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He throws back to the left side. He holds it in, and nobody's close. You want to talk about shifting the field in an instant. He's got it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Clark to fire. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. He'll be pushed out of bounds just short of the end zone, and that one saves a touchdown at least for now. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
And this is the area of the field where it gets really, really tough. Because the red zone, you know you got to run the football more. Well, this defense is #1 in the nation against the run. So I look for this offense to be more physical, be creative, try to find ways to run the ball against this defense that is so dynamic.
And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal from the left hash. And this distance ought to make that angle pretty easy to handle. Absolutely perfect. And the field goal draws us even as we get close to halftime.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Tight end now in motion. From the gun, the ground game. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Thanks, fellas. Perfect chance for us to put the first 2 quarters under the microscope. And that defense has to feel like it just played about as close to a perfect first half as it can play. And who am I to argue? I mean, check out that scoreboard. Bone-crushing hits and an airtight secondary. Feels like they have 12, 13 dudes out there against that offense, which needs a real pick-me-up and fast. It's time to throw it back to our guys in the booth to start up the second half.
Second half. And he's coming out of the end zone. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They'll try to put a drive together starting from their own 12. He'll keep it himself. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
You know, this zone replay is something they rep over and over and over in practice. This guy can run it and execute it in his sleep. Good decision there keeping the football.
To the ground with the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and short, they've got them back up inside the 20, and the D can get the ball back here. On the option. And there were some collisions in there, and the D finally stops him short of the marker. The groupers send out the punt unit. That leg is staying loose, already the 5th kick of the night. Just needs a crack to get a return. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. They'll start this drive at their own 48. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. To the 10. Across the 25, he's got room. Touchdown, Missouri State! And that one will put him up here in the second half.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
Looking for blockers. And the returner is stopped. And the offense heads out onto the field to get the drive started. Leaves it with the running back. Runs through the tackle. There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss. We'll send the tight end in motion. He'll pull it on the read. And the big defensive front wins the battle. No gain on that play. And the Groupers need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on third down. On the move. Short gain on the play before he slides. The punt team makes its way onto the field. They'll be forced to kick for the 6th time tonight. Makes the catch at the 45. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. So here comes the Missouri State offense. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Palmer, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to get the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
And the Bears in a good spot here with 2nd and short. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, 2nd and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's 3rd down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
And they'll send the field goal team back out for the 2nd time tonight. And the kicker delivers the 3 ball to finish off the drive. And now the lead is even bigger. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Liberty is in front. They've led for most of the way. However, Sparky isn't exactly putting this one in the win column just yet. They're up by a field goal over James Madison.
They'll run it out of the shotgun.
Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Motion from the wide receiver. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? The Groupers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. And the Groupers line up to punt it away. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. Okay, guys, the Bears offense comes onto the field. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play call.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my my playmakers. Who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, David?
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
Got it behind the line. It's Lawrence. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. The Bears now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Bears the pressure. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Fires on the move. Another incompletion on third down. And this field goal team has been busy. This kicker comes out for the third time tonight. And that is no good. Guys, a double-digit lead is good, but more would have been better. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Here's the handoff. Gets away from one, finds room. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. The give to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. We've come to the end of the period. It's Missouri State holding the lead. And we've reached the end of the third, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this. Looking deep down the right side. Makes the grab at the 10. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9. And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. And after that first down gasher, they're close to the end zone. Second and goal coming. Trying to barge their way in. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. If they can pay off this third and goal with a touchdown, it might be getting a little tough to swallow over there on the other sideline. He's going to lose a yard on that one. So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. That is no good. A missed field goal leaves us with a double-digit game still sitting at 10. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll run it to the right side. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Got stuffed on first down. It's second and 10. He'll do it himself. He finds enough room to get it up to the 28-yard line before going out of bounds.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
Bringing the heat. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
I mean, sometimes you overthink it. Sometimes running the football on third and short with the lead is not the worst thing in the world. Keep that clock ticking. And now decided to go for it, setting up a fourth down. And
there he goes. He's loose. And after gobbling up some serious yardage and showing off those wheels, he's finally out of bounds.
Well, the defense defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team.
I definitely am trying to be a little bit conservative. I can't be cautious, but I want to be a little bit conservative. Up 2 possessions. The clock is my friend. I got the football. The worst thing I can do is throw an interception, turn the football over, stop the clock, give them the ball back in an opportunity like this.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle. The groupers come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Wide receiver going in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He is stopped short, and they'll turn it over on downs. Just a crushing blow at this point in the game. This offense has it with really good field position. Running back searching for a hole. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. And the Bears can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. The give on the option. How about that run as he drives it all the way down to the 13-yard line? On 1st down from the 13-yard line. Smart move to keep it on the ground. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Bears! That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W. And that extra point is a big one, as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the 4th. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Going right to work up top. Under fire. Man, did he pay for it with that hit as he got rid of the ball. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. On the option. Now the toss. Nice move to pick up yardage. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Back open in the middle. Oh, it's out! Oh, and he not only gets the ball back, he's also got enough for the 1st down. And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. And the groupers will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll move the wide receiver. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got it set up on the outside. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The groupers come to the line in the hurry-up.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Catch in the middle, it's Sheffield. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the 1st down, and they like to do this. When they make a 1st down, they want to go fast, they want to crank up the tempo.
He's brought down quickly, minimal gain there, still a bit short of the 1st down. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Makes the catch, it's Sheffield. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the 1st down. On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air. Makes the catch, and a huge play on the left side. The junior making a clutch play and turning in a big catch. Wants to keep it in the air. Snagged in the middle. It's Sheffield. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. To the air on second down. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. On third and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. Pressure coming. Looking to the end zone. Intercepted to stop the threat. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception. The Bears backed up deep in their own end, trying to create a little space on first down. This time stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and they're probably saying, finally, what a night he's had. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Clark wants to throw. Using the quick game. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. And the Bears come to the line on third and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Rushes on him. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things they're going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation. This would be a good time to ingest some extra caffeine. Late night adventures on the gridiron, and we all know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. Glad to have you with us from Springfield, Missouri, Plaster Stadium, home to the Missouri State Bears. As we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Squaring off with another team from Conference USA, the Missouri State Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. The Hilltoppers will put toe to leather to crank us up. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. The Bears offense will have the first crack at it in this one. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the running back position. David, this guy did it.
He was a monster. And I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw it, man. So many different ways he could hurt you, and he could be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is to stop that dude.
Yeah, they know the entire offense goes through him. All week long, they've been stressing tackling, staying in your gaps, winning at the point of attack, getting as many hats to the football as humanly possible, because you can't shut this guy down. You can only hope to contain him, but what a challenge this defense faces today.
He's in open space downfield. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Clark to fire. Pulls it in. It's Robinson. And he won't quite get there. But boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. It'll be a run on 3rd and short. Fights off a defender. The Bears get enough to move the chains.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. And the Bears come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. Caught in the backfield, it's Joyner. Doesn't quite make it to the 1st down marker. He's a yard short. And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs. So Western Kentucky's offense has the ball for the first time. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day.
It's a seam wide open. All out of space. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a 1st down. And the Hilltoppers have moved it inside the 20. And the throw out to the sideline, good for a few.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Motion from the wideout. Back to pass on 2nd down. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. Fitted in the window for the score. I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish it off by connecting from 10 yards out. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Trying the left side. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Bears get enough for the 1st down.
This is an offense that prides himself on being physical, so you need 1 yard just hand it off to your back and let him go to work.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Handoff from the gun. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Bears can really attack on this second and short. They think there's room to run to the right here. Wide open spaces. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the air. He gets north fast.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. He might want another play. They'll toss it to the outside on the left. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
I love DBs that want to tackle, and they get an opportunity to look like heroes on these outside toss plays. Physical play by the corner there, getting the ball carried down behind.
Turning it on. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling. The Bears with the 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Clark wants to throw. Here's the heat. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Oh, they're after him. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. And they'll send out the field goal unit. And he'll have to find the line and generate some power. A 46-yarder from the left. Smashes it between the uprights. That'll bring him to within 4.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trying him out there.
Bring it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. First play of the drive wants to throw. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Back to the ground game on the left. They'll stop him at the 24, and that brings up 4th down. The Hilltoppers will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. So here comes the Bear offense. First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. Jesse, they had to kick a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah, oftentimes early in games, you're just trying to find your rhythm. Some things work, some don't on that first drive, David. Be interesting to see what happens here in the second drive.
Yeah, you got a feel for the defense now. You understand what they're trying to do, what their game plan is. Now you get to go into phase 2 of your game plan.
Clark to fire. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down.
Looks to me on that deep ball like he was forcing it a little bit. You got to be careful as a quarterback. You're not trying to outduel the other guy who just threw a touchdown pass. You're just trying to win the game. So just execute the plays. The ball goes to who it's designed to go to. If that means you got to turn around and hand it off, then that's what you got to do. But I think on that last deep ball, you'd be forcing it a little bit.
That's the end of the quarter. Western Kentucky is on top. One period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Making side adjustments here. They'll keep it on the ground here, off right tackle.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to go toss to the field and get that running back out into space to use his speed, but the defense looked like they were already lined up expecting that play, and they force a negative.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. They'll run the screen. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. Able to get the first one of the day away. They did have to send him out 3 times in that victory last week. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. They've got the screen set up. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. Try to get...
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Oh, he's got some space. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. That's caught. It's Robinson. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is.
Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. Got open on the post and then had no regard for his body in making that catch.
Exactly right. You know you're going to get hit a lot of times coming over the middle of the field, but he runs that post, lays out, makes the play for his quarterback.
Turning on the Jets. The 20. And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri State.
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. He can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners when he kicked it in gear and got the long touchdown run.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll run it from the gun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. He's got it on the right. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. shotgun, wants to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And the Hilltoppers will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. A high kick. Let's see if he can pin them back deep in their own end. Surprisingly makes a fair catch just outside the 40-yard line. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. Quarterback on the keeper. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
I suspect we can see that same exact play. They make it look really easy, running the option down the line of scrimmage, QB making good decisions and keeping them in good second down situations.
Trying to escape and get it himself. They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 45-yard line.
It's just so nice as a coaching staff when you've got quarterbacks who make good decisions. And on a 2nd and short play, you're throwing it, you're trying to catch the defense napping, you might take a shot, nothing there. Go get it yourself. Make the right decision to keep it, not panic, and get you a fresh set of downs.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Offense trying to go RPO, but how about the defense up front? Their front 7, they had dudes winning, just being way more physical and able to get to that running back.
It'll be 3rd and long. Clark wants to throw. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
The offense failed to convert on 4th down earlier, but that didn't change their thinking here. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Pulls it in. It's Robinson. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the 1st down. No hesitation, no trying to baby the ball in there. He just fired it complete.
4th down, no problem. I'm just going to rip this to my wide receiver. He believed in himself. He knew he could get it, and they get the 4th down conversion.
Well, this offense will screen you in a variety of ways. They'll throw receiver screens, tight end screens. The running back screen also a big part of what they like to do, like you just saw there.
Clock stopped. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and they've got a chance to lock this thing up before the break. Just keeps slinging it. Unloads to the right. It's caught downfield. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the 1st down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6. This offense can get a jolt of momentum headed to the locker room if they can take the lead here. And a chance to really carry momentum with them into the locker room if they can take the lead here. 1st and goal. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
That changes the sequence, doesn't it? Like, you think 1st and goal, maybe I can pound this several times, and now you get the loss. Now you got to rethink things a little bit. Do I want to throw the football now?
Touchdown, Bears! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Plenty of time to work. Not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Give to the back. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. 2nd down coming. Looking to fire. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the 1st down, and he slides in safely. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Wide receiver comes in motion. Off the play fake. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly complete. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Hilltoppers will call on their punt team. A high kick trying to pin them deep. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. So here comes the Missouri State offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David, it's sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard.
Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. He's got it on the left. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. They don't seem interested in inching the ball down the field. That big play sets him up. 1st and 10 from the 36. That's caught. It's Joyner. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
They'll immediately call timeout. They'd love nothing better than to add a 3-ball here before the break. They've already put one field goal on the board. This one will need to be well struck from 44 yards out. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, thanks, guys. And through 2 quarters of ball, it looks like we're in for another fun one here today. And it's clear, the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. Either way, it's time to find out. Back to the best in the biz for the start of this 3rd quarter.
And the Bears will kick it off to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner will be dragged down. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Motion from the back. He wants to start this drive with a pass. That pass is incomplete. Sometimes a quarterback just needs to turn the ball loose. It was like he tried to guide that one in, and it disrupted the timing.
Yeah, and just like in basketball, when you shoot a shot, you start trying to aim it, you really miss. You know, quarterbacks, they got to quickly be able to recognize, do I need to fire it? Do I need to put a little air underneath it? And it's just a tough thing for a quarterback to be able to do, but over time, you see they have less and less mishaps like that.
And the Hilltoppers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Gets the job done on 3rd down as he gets it to the 25 before he's brought down. Offense getting set for 1st down. They'll ride the hot hand. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Caught over the middle. It's Henry.
Slants against man. That wide receiver has to win right now. Right now at the line of scrimmage against that DB playing man coverage. Quarterback timing with the wide receiver. Put it on the money. Wide receiver's probably still going to get hit too. You got to hold on to that thing.
He was hoping to get that thing down the sideline. They get him out of bounds at the 37. The Hilltoppers are moving quickly down the field. Looking downfield on first down. He's going to take off. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. And the Hilltoppers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. He'll keep it himself. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. The Hilltoppers kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Looking to throw on first down. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Firing to the right, complete. He stopped and forced out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 11. And the Hilltoppers headed quickly to the line. They'll run it from the gun. He's pulled down after a tough run, gets it to the 6.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on second, you only have a short...
And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, WKU. Lining up for the point after and the lead. And these guys just score from anywhere out there. After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out and go get you a touchdown, that's a great drive by the offense.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So here comes the Missouri State offense. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Trying to take it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession. And the sudden change magnified for this defense as it's first and touchdown Hilltoppers. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, we don't get a ton of top 5 matchups, so let's check out how today's Rumble played out. Penn State was able to squeak one out in front of those home fans at Beaver Stadium. In fact, I think in the end, the difference may have been that Happy Valley crowd who leaves happy with the win. This could well be the biggest game we see all regular season, and this outcome promises to be a real talking point.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. They'll go to the ground. Gets it out to about the 35-yard line. That's where they'll mark him out of bounds, and this offense trying to put something together. He'll pull it on the read. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Bears with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Clark to fire. Outside the pocket, lets it go. He'll fire back across his body, and it's intercepted. Oh, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it first down at the 39. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. Guard in the backfield, it's Henry. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Under fire. Out of the backfield, he's open. Knocked down at the 24-yard line, but it's a big gain. 15 yards on the play, and this offense is in business. To the air on first down. Here comes the heat. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
The Hilltoppers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. Takes the easy one to the back. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. A great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Pocket breaking down. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31. It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. He'll need to strike this one cleanly from 48 yards out. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They think there's room to run to the right here. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Clark wants to throw. They're setting up the screen. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd period. We've come to the break. It's Western Kentucky holding the lead. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards. The encroachment penalty on the D gives the offense a free 5 yards. Motion from the wide receiver. Off the play fake on 1st down. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. And the Hilltoppers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. That's caught. It's Henry. Makes the grab almost to the 1st down marker, but a good pickup on that one. Here on 3rd down for this offense. Gibson on the option. Just across the 20 with a 1st down at the 19. The Hilltoppers come to the line with a new set of downs. Caught behind the line. It's Epps. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. Line getting set on 2nd down. The inside handoff. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one. A great chance to put this game away with a score here on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. Quick strike through the air for the score. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Okay, guys, the Bears offense comes onto the field. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
And you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. And the Bears will hustle to the line. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Takes a hit as he fires. Got his man downfield. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
And there's no quit in this team. Obviously, they're trailing late in the game, but they're trying to make it happen. We've seen 2 big plays now, back-to-back. They're putting pressure on this defense.
With the catch, it's Lawrence. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. Wants to throw again. Fires on the move. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble, but couldn't create anything there. The Bears come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. Looking to buy time. Got out of trouble and throws. Grabbed in the middle. It's Collins. They are on the move. As they pick up the first down, they'll spot it at the 28.
When this offense wants to, boy, they can go fast. After the completion and first down, right back to the line of scrimmage for more tempo.
And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Clark to fire. Throws to the wideout. And the timing just a hair off.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
Finds the tight end. Will not. Well, they say you win a few, you lose a few, and some get rained out. Would have been good for this team if this one had gotten rained out because they lost badly.
Yeah, not a lot to be too proud about in this one here. Good news is you get to go back to the drawing board. You get to go back, you get to have another week of practice as a coaching staff, try and find ways to get players in position to go out and make plays. Going to need a big locker room speech after